Hey y'all, welcome to my first forecast in almost 10 years. I'm the Desert Viper. I've been into amateur meteorology for the past 25 years. I was on the road for the past 10 years almost, working all over the world. So I'm a little bit rusty at this. But I did do a lot of forecasting back 10 years ago. I did tropical updates. I had pretty good accuracy. A lot of people seem to enjoy my forecast. So I just thought I would get back into it again, see how it goes. If you have any ideas, advice, constructive feedback, I would really be appreciated. And so now let's just get into it. So we're looking here at the national overview. We can see currently where fronts are sitting. We can see, of course, the bad weather in the southeast, what's going on in the Midwest, Southwest, and Northwest. But it's going to be a busy weekend with everything setting up. There should be, unfortunately some flooding. There doesn't look like a lot in the way of, like hurricane or tornadoes, things like that. Definitely no direct landfalls of hurricanes, but we'll get into all that a little bit later. So let's just start with the Southwest. So in the Southwest, we have the remains of tropical cyclone Priscilla. As she continues to head northward, she's surging moisture into southeastern California, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, tiny bit into New Mexico. Now, unfortunately, that's going to bring a lot of showers to this region. And when it does, there's chances right now the WPC or the Weather Prediction Center has given a risk of about anywhere from 3 to 5. So it's a moderate risk of flash flooding, especially where there's excessive rainfall and if there's areas of slot canyons or burn scars or low-lying deserts. So there could be debris flows as well as flash flooding. So keep your eyes out in that area for sure, and keep your head down. Now, if we move a little bit further north, we can see where that moisture coming in from Priscilla is starting to spread into the southern Rockies and central Rockies some, which, again, there's going to be some flash flood potential for localized. So they make the risk between 2 and 4, which makes it a slight risk. Again, the same thing. You just want to kind of pay attention to that. And then we have the system that's up here, been in the Pacific Northwest, this low. As it continues to move on, it'll start moving more and more onshore, bringing weather to the northern part of California, up in the Cascades. And then as it slowly moves in, you're going to start getting snow. The first real heavy snows, I think, in the northern Rockies, rolling into Washington and Wyoming. So, yeah, fully foresee that being the case. Sorry, my brain went blank there for a second. I am only human. We come down here to the southeast. Now, this is because of this low that's forming here off the coast, which is expected, according to the GFS, to continue to shift northward, as well as Jerry, that's making its northward to northwestward or northeastward turn eventually here, which is going to drive a lot of this moisture up into the Carolinas as well as the mid-Atlantic, and be probably the biggest risks are going to be rain, high winds, and some coastal flooding. So you have to be careful. Now, if we go back out to the Midwest, we can see this front is slowly but surely moving down. This front, in turn, it looks really bad as far as thunderstorms go, but there's not a lot of MESO indicators like SRH and things like that to indicate that there's going to be that much. It's not that conducive for tornadoes or rotation. So, but it's still going to be worth keeping an eye on and trying to, make sure. There's a lot of chasers that are in the area. You can see them in here. You can see them out here, over in Kansas City area. So hopefully they'll stay safe, but they probably are going to get a lot of rain, a lot of hail, some smaller hail, and thunderstorms, because each one of those little crosses is a lightning strike. So it's going to be very active that way, but I don't see a lot of rotation. And I pretty much checked all the MESO analysis for the entire area. And if one time you guys want me to do something with the MESO analysis, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do a breakdown of that on a video. I tried one the other day just to see how long it would take. It takes about 10 minutes. So let me know something you'd be interested in. Now, if we pan back out and we look at, let's look at temperatures. So we can see that cooling temperatures are going to start rolling in as the cool air starts to slowly slide in with this behind this front, as well as some stuff that's already kind of moved its way down. The warm, drier air will start spreading into the west into early next week. But temperatures will continue to be really pleasant down in this area. Up in the New England area, overnights could be some rain, some icing and stuff. So frost up there, especially in the northern Midwest. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I was going to head to look at some tropical update and then run some real quick models. So if you guys are interested, still stay with. All right, guys, so let's roll right on to Jerry here on the tropical update. So Jerry's sitting right about here. It's a really disorganized tropical storm. Satellite and aircraft data shows the system is slowly being torn apart by wind shear, with most of the thunderstorms displaced down here to the south and east of the low-level center, which is sitting here. Central pressure has been rising, so that's never good. And winds are near 45 knots, so about 50 miles an hour. So no strengthening is expected, especially with the pressure going up. When I said it was bad, it's bad for a storm, not for the rest of the world. So the storm is moving northwest at about 15 knots. It should turn more northward tonight, and then it'll stay well east of the southeast of the Bahamas through the weekend. Then the forecast models keep Jerry over open water, eventually turning it eastward. And early next week, as it's picked up by the mid-latitude flow, it'll still have some heavy rain, and the leewards are going to get some rain, as well as the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, most probably. So you're going to end up with some flash flooding possible, especially in the urban and hilly terrains. So people are going to have to keep an eye out for it. Tropical storm force gusts may continue briefly through this morning, but they'll start to improve. At least that part of it will. Now, if we move on to Karen, she's just that one that's floating way up there in the North Atlantic. She's starting to, she actually has surprisingly stayed kind of wrapped around herself, but it's just very small, compact system. Winds are holding near 40 knots or 45 miles an hour. It's moving northeast at about 8 knots, and will keep accelerating until it gets near this strong trough that's approaching from the west. And then as the sea temperatures start to rise, everything is going to kind of become less conducive. It'll be hostile winds, colder water, start stripping away the convection, and then Karen will just degrade into a trough that will be absorbed by a frontal system, and then it ends its life as a tropical cyclone. Let's go on to our buddy Priscilla. Old Priscilla. So she's still moving her way north. It remains resilient, actually, for a tropical storm. It's still holding at the tropical storm, though. Its winds are near 45 knots or 50 miles an hour. And it was surprising because it just passed 24 degrees Celsius water, which they thought would, really kind of collapse the structure. But it didn't actually do much. But it is starting to weaken. And then there's a southwesterly wind shear that's starting to attack. So within just very short period of time, it'll pretty much start to continue to dissipate. It's drifting north right now about 5 knots, and will slowly turn to the northeast as it's steered between an upper level trough and the ridge over Texas. So way out here, that ridge that's out here, this system up here, we'll just keep driving it, pushing it up through the middle. So yeah, it sort of goes, let's see, sort of goes like that and like that. So, but yeah, that'll be the end result, and dissipates by Saturday. But even as Priscilla fades, its tropical moisture is the real story. It's going to fuel the heavy rain and flash floodings across central Arizona, southern Utah, southwestern Colorado, and northwestern New Mexico, at least through the weekend. And then we go on to Raymond, who is an invest. Now it's finally become Raymond. It's just a tropical storm. It's got maximum sustained winds near 50 miles or 50 knots or 60 miles per hour. It shows a particularly exposed center, but a burst of new convection just offshore is starting, and despite the disorganized look, it remains actually a really solid low-level circulation, which you can kind of get a feel for watching this spin. But strong easterly shear and its close proximity to Mexico is going to stop it from really being able to strengthen much. So between here and the shear that's occurring over here, it's going to pretty much eat it up. So it's going to keep moving. The finally become a low. It'll wander over the Gulf of California by Sunday, and then it will just kind of dissipate soon after. It's right now currently moving west-northwest at about 12 knots. It's steered by a high pressure area that's sitting over Mexico, and will also be picked kind of by that the high pressure area that's sitting over Texas. So eventually that this similar steering pattern of Priscilla will take over. So, but across the Baja, they're probably going to get a lot of rain, gusty winds, and so forth for the next few days. V3. It's a high-res dynamic model now used a lot by NOAA, and it, for me, has been probably one of the most accurate. It's got part of the GFS in it and other things, but it does a really good job. So this is basically showing over the next 60 hours as the storm moves up along the coast. It looks like the main bulk of weather is trying to stay offshore up here in the northeast, which is good. This is also showing the jet stream. So we get an idea of kind of what the jet stream is doing. It's going to be rolling a little bit further south because this is at the 300 millibar level. So that's 30,000 feet and higher, around 30,000 feet. So yeah, it looks like pretty much as everything's been predicted. There goes Priscilla getting disintegrated. There goes Raymond coming in right after, kind of getting disintegrated over, slowly rolling ashore in Mexico. But yeah, so looking at the models, everything's kind of panning out the way I forecast, and let's see how it goes over the weekend. So thanks, guys. And again, if you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate. Let me know. Thanks.